Hey y'all, Daniel Aaron here, your guide to vibrant living. And first things first, love, compassion, support for everybody who's suffering right now, directly or indirectly, which mostly means in our head and in our fear body. Second thing, question. Are you happy with the way your life is going or the way it was going a few weeks ago, and especially as related to your abundance, finances, money? And I ask that knowing full well that for some people it'll come as a shock to hear that kind of question from me, and it may seem incongruent with who I've been as a personal and spiritual development coach and teacher for almost 30 years. And I'll tell you why. It's not about the money, right? I don't give a rat's ass about money. What I care about, though, is how I live my life. What I care about is freedom of time, being able to create a life that is in line with with our birthright, who we are here to be. And I'll tell you a bit of how I got to this conversation. A while back, I read an amazing book last year, a book called Bold, right? And this is Robert Kotler and Peter Diamandis, right? Great teachers. And one of the things that Bold is, it's an intersection of technology and entrepreneurship and world change revolution, right? Meaning, like, how do we create a huge difference in the world right now? And I'll be really honest with you, when I read this book, they said, right, it's an incredible age of entrepreneurship because those huge corporations, they're dying out because technology is allowing us entrepreneurs to have a new way of working, to reach so many more people, to leverage ourselves with time and our reach. And so one of the theses of the book was, for any entrepreneur, if you've got look, and what's in the world, a massive problem that's there. And if there is a massive problem that's there and you can offer a solution, one, you can help a tremendous amount of people, right? And of course, if we're a spiritual entrepreneur, that's what we want. That's what we're here for. And so many of my clients and students, trainees I've worked with over the years who have big hearts, a genuine desire to support and help people, struggle with the business aspect of it, and consequently they don't reach nearly as many people as they could, and they're often just barely overhead, just barely, or worse, they give up on their dreams and their business and they end up working for somebody else and doing something that doesn't feel great for them. And by the way, nothing wrong with working for someone else. If that's what works for you and you like it, awesome. And when I read this book, I thought, yeah, but I don't know, what's like a world problem that I can solve? And I really thought to myself, like, um, I don't think I'm that bright. I don't think I'm that innovative. And I have a pretty high opinion of myself, but I'm like, it's not going to work. Right. Fast forward, I did a bunch of prayer for myself, saying, how can I reach more people, support more people? I love my teaching, my trainings, my coaching, and I know that I could feel better used by God. I've known that. And I want to increase my own sense of freedom, time and abundance freedom. I want to do more for my family, for the charities that I support, for my friends, right? For my daughter, for the next generation. So, what came to me is an intersection of all of these things. And I've partnered with a company that I'm happy to say has the vision and has the revolution and allows us to work with technology. And what we are doing is creating a revolution, right? It's a financial movement that's changing the structure of the world finances, because right, what we have in the world right now is a financial system that's failing us. Traditional business, and if you go back to Friedman's Law of shareholders, and for business geeks, it favors, who does it favor? Who does our financial system favor right now? Right? The money goes up to the tip top. 0.1% of the population right now owns more than 80% of the rest of us. 0.1%. Right? And here's the thing, y'all, coming back to my description questions and statement, Most people live their entire lives trading their time for money in traditional business and never really getting ahead. So many people are suffering from lack of time, giving all their time away. And then 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, 50 years of working in this way, they can't even retire and live the life of their dreams. We know it's not the end of it. We know there's got to be another way of living. So here's the thing. What these guys did, the company, by the way, I'm not trying to be mysterious. The company I've partnered with, their name is rnetwork, and I will post a little intro video down below so you can get a sense of it. And what they have done is said, let's create a different economy. Let's shift people's spending so that they can spend with us rather than all of the money going up to the tip top of Google or Amazon or Airbnb. Let's create a way that people that we care about can save money on almost anything that they could ever possibly buy. So rather than spend it over here where all the money goes up to the top of that corporation, spend it over here for things you're already buying so that one, you can save money on it, right? Two, that we can all participate. And this is what they have invented, right? It's something called participation marketplace. And what it means is we're tired of all the money going over there. We want to, this is the next thing because it's an idea whose time has come. We want to share in the revenue, in the profits. We deserve that, right? The next era of the world of our lives is about cooperation, about community. And the opportunity here for anyone, and this is one of the things that I just so love about this, is it's the smallest investment. It's $75 to get invested in this, and you can literally have your money back in days. You can literally be in profit in days. And there's so many types of business. And what are we talking about here? We're talking about being in business for yourself, about being an entrepreneur, right? Most people never get to that because it's scary and it's a little too risky for them, and it's safer, we think, to follow the worn path, to get a job, to even if you never create what you want, there's a perceived safety in that. But guess what? We have an incredible opportunity right now, right? This is a massive wake-up call. So many people right now have had their lives disrupted. And the worst thing possible would be to endure this, to bury our head in the sand, to watch a ton of Netflix during this time, and then come out the other side of this period, go back right to the way things were. So this is why I am passionate, excited. I implore you to, at the very least, ask yourself the question, are you happy with the way your financial life is going? Because you know the story of the frog and the hot water? Right? It's a myth, right? And it's not a very ahimsic myth. I don't love this myth, but it's an analogy, and I haven't actually done the experiment. But you take a frog and you put it in boiling water. What will it do? Right? It'll jump out. Take a frog and put it in room temperature water and then slowly heat it. What will happen? It will die. And that's the way it's become for not only so many of us, our history, our financial world, our society, our ancestors, our lineage. We've gotten used to this system where we just give our heart, our labor, our time away for all these years to make that 0.1% richer, richer, richer. And again, as you know, I'm an entrepreneur. I have been since the age of 10. I'm all for bringing an idea forward, for working for what you want, for pouring your heart, your inspiration, for adding value to people's lives and being well rewarded for it. And the level of inequity that we have, the financial divide, it's so severe. It's tearing our world apart. Right? So it's time that we get to solve that problem, right? Solve a problem big enough, support enough people. And the investment amount is so small, right, that anybody who's got a heart, who's got eyes, who's got a brain, a mouth, and a bit of desire, because it doesn't work for lazy people, right? It takes some motivation. But if you've got a bit of motivation, if you've said, you know what, I want to do something about this, and specifically right now is an incredible opportunity to take advantage of this time, because this is something you can get into like that, you can start working on it today, and it's fun. And what's also cool for me, one of the things I was praying for, is how can I serve more people, right? That's what I'm here for, right? Since I woke up 25 years ago, and I'm still waking up, don't get me wrong, I'm not fully baked, right? But since that moment, my life has been devoted to realizing our potential and supporting as many people as I can to realize their potential for us all together, right? So I prayed for, how can I support more people? How can I feel better used by God? And what has come about is a way of making a massive difference in the world. That's the revolution we are in. And for me to particularly support more and more people to create what they want, right? Essentially, if somebody gets involved here, you get me at no extra charge. I am fully invested in supporting you in creating what you want and succeeding in your business. We get to do it together. All right. So that's it, right? That's enough said. Trade our time for money, right? Work 10, 20, 30, 50 years for somebody else and still probably not be able to live the life that we want, or do something radical. And you can do this part-time. You can do it right now. Create something different. Create something new. Create your fortune, right? Invest yourself. And quite literally, to be able to build something that supports the world, creates a leveraged residual income for you, for your family, for the next generation, to invest your time and energy now for something that will continue to pay you for years and years and years to come and keep growing even while you're not actively working it. Not only is that possible, I submit for your mature consideration that may be exactly why you're here. That may be your birthright. All right. I hope that this has been interesting, innocuous at least, maybe really useful. If you want to know more, just give me a shout. You can private message me, give me a call, whatever works. Thank you for tuning in. I hope you are doing well in the midst of the chaos, that you're being a light, that you're being discerning about what you allow into yourself. Don't let yourself go to fear. Stay positive. Keep your immune system strong. All right, y'all. Thank you. Aloha.